Hello all. Here we are in the middle of winter in California, a little colder than the past 4 or 5 winters, but still above normal. There was a climate study done over the last 12 years, and I wanted to show you what was said on this climate report that was put out the other day. Let me show you. Okay, these guys were the author and the publishers of this study. So what they're saying to completely divert climate disaster is that we must keep temperatures below 2 degrees Celsius, and that 80% of all coal remaining in the world must stay in the ground. You can only take about 20% more of the coal. Now, when 100% of all Arctic gas must stay in the ground and be left in the Arctic. Most of all Canadian tar sands should be left in place, and 33% of all the oil, including the fracking oil, throughout the world must stay in the ground to keep temperatures at the 2 degrees Celsius, below what they call normal temperatures. In just the last few years, we've had probably 30 to 40 of these types of studies. They all come out to saying the exact same thing. We have not had one peer-reviewed study saying that climate change is not happening. All the peer-reviewed studies are saying it is happening. That's multiple scientists throughout the world are saying this. If you think that carbon tax is what this is all about, carbon tax couldn't even touch the problem of climate change. Carbon tax is a right-wing denier newspeak word which is meaningless. So let's find out how well the world is responding to all these studies on climate change. So the U.S. House passed the Keystone Pipeline bill. It was 28 Democrats yes, all but 1 Republican no. Obviously, they're all in denial, and the Republicans and the Democrats are the same anyway. They're a corporate mouthpiece for the oil industrial complex along with the military industrial complex. And both these need as much oil, gas, and coal as possible and couldn't care less what happens to the planet. That's not all. So last week there was a cataclysmic die-off of birds here on the west coast of the U.S. Let me go show you. So common murres and caissons were the ones that died off along the west coast of the U.S. and parts of Canada and Mexico. The die-off covered this entire area. 4,000 miles plus of dead and dying birds. One of the worst die-offs ever seen on the planet. This during human population. We're not over yet. There is some more research out on this major die-off around the world. And let's go see what they found out. Okay, they claim that more animal deaths are occurring now than ever before. In the last 70 years, every year, more die-offs happen by 1 a year for the last 70 years. This research was carried out by the University of San Diego, the University of Yale, and Berkeley here in California. Some countries around the world, as they delete their underground water and their rivers are polluted and their lakes are drawn down, are now needing to go to extremes. Let me show you. Since 2008, China has been geoengineering, trying to get more rain out of their clouds. They have put $1.05 billion into these projects since 2008. What they're planning on doing or have done is cloud seeding with silver iodine and other chemicals that will be injected or have been injected into the clouds. 60 billion cubic meters of extra rain per year is what they're looking for. They haven't gotten any. Neither has anybody else that's tried this. It doesn't work. Let me show you why. Okay, if you have an area 2,000 miles one way and 2,000 the other, and you want to cloud seed this area, so you do it with aircraft, right? So that might take 2 hours, another 2 hours, another 2 hours, another 2 hours, and another 2 hours. So let's say that you spend all day cloud seeding with aircraft. You're hardly going to even seed hardly any of the area. Now, has anybody looked up and looked at contrails from aircraft? They know that they're pretty straight, and then as time goes on, they tend to spread out. So also the silver iodine will also spread out. But the problem is, as it's spreading out, it starts to fall to the ground. So if these are where the clouds are, within a few minutes, all the silver iodine has spilled out of the clouds and just spreads around in the wind and doesn't really do anything to seed the clouds. What the theory is a little piece of silver iodine or carbon dioxide, frozen carbon dioxide, is put into the air, and water attracts itself to the drop of this stuff and then falls to the ground. But unless you have some 40 or 50 mile wide plane that can spread enough of this material out over the clouds, you're just wasting your money and putting more pollution into the air. So geoengineering is a proven way to just add to the problem. It does not work in any way, shape, or form. They've tried all kinds of ways of geoengineering in a small way, but the cost of it and the massiveness of it and the amount of ships and people you'd need, it just doesn't make it worth it. And you never know what the side effects are going to be of this. Alright all, well, as we look out over San Francisco, we see the kind of air that we see most of the time around here. Pretty nasty. So anyway, I'm going to do an oil update very shortly here. A lot of news there. So until next time, thanks for all the ups and the downs and the comments last time about the gas prices and new subscriptions. So until next time.